Oh, so sad. So sad. Poor Chink. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live on this fine Monday morning, December 16th, 2019. You are here at the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. Yes, I got the radio voice going. I don't know why. Maybe it's more of a jazz station voice. Is this what would you call this, the jazz station voice? I would call it the jazz station voice. I was going to start with Devin Nunes, because there's something I think that needs to be said, needs to be heard loud and clear. But, as you know, many of you probably already know this, but my news from Friday, which brought me so much joy, has had a slight turn of events. Yes. Cenk Uygur on Friday was endorsed by Bernie Sanders. Now, the reason that brought me such great joy was because I knew, I literally knew what was going to happen. And what happened. And it is glorious. It is glorious. It had, within 24 hours, a mere 24 hours, the endorsement of Cenk Uygur by 2020 presidential candidate, and longtime Senator Bernie Sanders was rescinded. Now, it wasn't necessarily reported that way, but that's what happened in effect. In fact, let's just go to an article from the Daily Caller. Watching this, it's funny because I couldn't spend a whole lot of time on Twitter on the weekend, but the time that I did was glorious. Anyway, here's the Daily Caller article. Bernie Sanders retracts endorsement of Dem candidate who wanted to legalize bestiality. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I knew it was coming. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders retracted his endorsement of Democratic congressional candidate Cenk Uygur just one day after announcing it. Uygur, founder of the left-wing media outlet The Young Turks, has come under fire for past comments, including one where he said certain kinds of bestiality should be legal. Despite this and multiple videos showing crude comments about women, the Vermont senator endorsed the congressional candidate on Thursday. Oh, it was Friday. I guess maybe it didn't happen before my show Friday. Anyway, as I said yesterday, this is Bernie Sanders speaking. As I said yesterday, Cenk has been a longtime friend, fighter against the corrupt forces in our politics, and he's inspired people across the country, Sanders said in a statement announcing his retraction on Friday. However, our movement is bigger than any one person, and I hear my grassroots supporters who are frustrated to understand their concerns, he added. And then there it is, right? There's the quote, Elizabeth Landers saying that Bernie Sanders retracts his endorsement of Cenk Uygur. Videos posted by M. Mendoza Farah on Twitter in November show Uygur making inappropriate remarks about women. He's discussing a rating system for women, adding in what score the woman would have to be for her to, quote, suck your dick. Another video from 2013 shows Uygur discussing bestiality and talking about how hot women from the Dominican are. Here comes the controversial part I shouldn't say, Uygur said, according to one of the videos. I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are pleasuring the animal. Yes, those videos are out there, people. They still are. Uygur was fired from a progressive political action committee, the Justice Democrats, after sexist blog posts surfaced, the HuffPost previously reported. The congressional candidate said in his past comments, the congressional candidate says his past comments do not reflect who I am today. Uygur is rejecting all endorsements for his campaign, according to Sanders' statement on Friday. Uygur is running for the former Democratic California Representative Katie Hill's seat. She resigned in October after allegations that she slept with a congressional staffer and a campaign staffer. Yeah, and then George Papadopoulos is running that district. Now, here's the thing. Normally, I would think maybe a political candidate might be able to weather the storm by saying, that was a long time ago. This was, I don't believe those things anymore, blah, 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 blah. But this is Cenk Uygur. And Cenk is one of those people who certainly wouldn't hesitate to use anything somebody said in the past, regardless of the context, regardless of any change in attitude or change in beliefs. And I just think it's just I'm having a huge bout of schadenfreude here. I think it's just amazing. Now, the other thing is, it's only been within the last few years that Cenk has even acknowledged the Armenian genocide. Remember when that the people that they call themselves the Young Turks were killing all the Armenians? And so that surely was going to come up, and I think now in some ways it's Bernie either didn't do his homework or thought that perhaps they could weather that storm. And it's interesting because in his announcement, he stated that he was going to, he's withdrawing his endorsement because Cenk Uygur, what do they say here? They said that he is no longer, let's see, what were the exact words? Do not reflect who I am. What the hell was that? Oh, one of those automatic videos. That he's just no longer going to accept endorsements from anybody. Because also, there's a couple other people who have endorsed him. Ro Khanna, and then there was one other. Was it Nina Turner? I think she's a senator. But anyway, so that's the top of the news today, which was actually late afternoon Friday. But within 24 hours, Bernie Sanders is no longer endorsing Cenk Uygur. And I think the people in that district, now it clearly, Cenk Uygur is, I'm not going to say that he's a feminist, but I'm going to say that his views have evolved as far as all the women stuff, or at least his public views of all that stuff. But the big rub, at least as far as the Twitterverse was concerned, that, oh my God, Bernie Sanders has just endorsed this misogynist, and Bernie Sanders is a misogynist, and he's just an old white man, and he's a misogynist, and he doesn't know all the shit that Cenk said in the past, or he does know all the shit that Cenk says in the past, and he's just a misogynist, right? Oh my God. It's just them eating their own. They're eating their own. Oh, all right. Enough about Cenk. That's classic. Anyway, here you go. A little not suicide coffee, not Epstein coffee, but reparations coffee for. I'm a little punchy today. I only got about 3 hours of sleep last night. Then I went into work, and I was so tired because we had to go in early. Remember, I work at UPS part time, but this time of the year it's basically a full time job on top of everything else I do, and I'm tired. I got a little nap this morning, but I got up late, and I have my reparations coffee. Not my Epstein coffee, not my suicide coffee, my reparations coffee. All right, let's move on. The main topic today, there have been some interviews. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I got to say good morning to everybody because it's just that time of the show. And first of all, Jason Burns, nice to have you back. And you get the bell because you were first. Now this is going to be tough. I can't ring my bell as much, not for at least for a while. If you don't remember, I told you that my Lady Boomer no longer has a job, at least temporarily. She quit her job and she's starting a new one later this week. And but she's home and she's sleeping, so that's the other reason I got to use my indoor voice, my radio voice, my jazz voice. Except Quinn, the Jizz Station voice, please. Now, well, although I suppose I'd have a decent voice for porn too, wouldn't I? But more like a narrator, right? A narrator. If I was narrating porn, could you imagine this voice reading like Penthouse Forum? Or remember does anyone even know what that is anymore? That's from a long time ago. Anyway, good morning, Jason Burns. Good morning, Tyler F. Who was second? Good morning, Hammer Time MC. Good morning, RVA, Ginger Power, Green Thunder Mighty, Quinn the Cultist, Chicago Mike, Maddie, House of Geek, also the news chick, Maniac Man, I almost said Maniac Man, the gayest person on YouTube, but Maniac Man, the gayest person on YouTube, but not Maniac Man. Y'all know what I'm saying. Good morning, Duck Dog, and it's everyone in the chat right now. There are several of you out there lurking. I'm happy that you're here. Please join the chat, and while you're here, and while you're thinking about it, while I'm talking about it, could you please give the band a like if you like what we do here? And right down there, the share arrow. That's the big one. Now, I did tweet this out. Let's see. It looks like some people have. Maddie, thank you. Maddie's got me covered. Tweeted out the show this morning. If you'd be so kind as to share the show. I'm coming up on 500 subscribers finally. And that's awesome. It grows slowly, but it grows organically because YouTube's never going to recommend this channel. But anyway, so if you can share, that'd be awesome. Also, if you want to do super chats during the show, we do that via Streamlabs, which is in the description down below, and you can do donations through Streamlabs also. Okay, let's get into this thing about what the real topic today is, and that's Devin Nunes. Okay, now let's see, this is back in when was this? The date on this is February. Let's go back to January. January 2018. And the House Committee on Intelligence, which was at the time still chaired by Devin Nunes. And Adam Schiff was just the minority ranking member. And we were discussing the whole Russia investigation, and Devin Nunes went out and did some research and started looking into the FISA applications. And he came out with a memo, and it ended up being called the Nunes Memo. And what happened is he discovered that there were some major irregularities into the FBI's the FBI's application for the FISA warrants to go spy on Carter Page, who was a Trump campaign volunteer. Okay, and this was all part of the Russia investigation. And this is kind of, even though they say that, even though the Inspector General says that the Russia investigation was predicated on this conversation, this kind of hearsay conversation from George Papadopoulos, and that thinnest of thin lines was the line that could be crossed and to start investigating into the whole Russian collusion BS that took 2.5 years and millions of dollars to investigate. The real meat of that investigation began after the FBI began requesting FISA warrants to spy. Now, by the way, let's talk about this word spy, because people are saying that they don't want to use the word spy. But spying is not necessarily a nefarious word. It's exactly what the FBI was doing. They were spying on the Trump surrogates and the Trump campaign to see if they could find evidence that they were colluding with Russia, which they found out that wasn't it. But anyway, good morning, Peter Allman. I see you walked in there. So this Nunes memo, right? The Nunes decided that he found out that the FISA warrants were under shakiest of circumstances, and so he wrote this memo, got permission from the White House to declassify some information, and put out what is now known as the Nunes memo. And he was just ridiculed and mocked by the press and Democrats, which I know the press and Democrats is quite redundant for the most part. But he was ridiculed for this. So I want to take a look, because now I want to go back and look at it. Because I didn't, I got the basic bullet points on the memo way back when. But now I want to go and look at it and compare it to what we've heard from the Inspector General. Because remember, Adam Schiff, shortly after this memo came out with his own memo that was completely, what's a good word for this? Just completely taking a whole mouthful from the FBI. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, saying that they crossed their I's and dotted their T's, and there was no way that there was anything wrong with these FISA applications, and they did it all correctly, blah, 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 blah. Well, on Friday, we discussed that a little bit. We figured out that Adam Schiff is indeed full of Schiff. But now I want to take a look at the Nunes memo, because now I want to refresh my memory and see, let's look at the Nunes memo and see if there was anything about that memo that may have had some issues. By the way, I'm going to say it again. Hi, Peter Allman. Welcome to the show. And also, good morning, Smarty Bear. I'm glad you're here. So here we go. Let's take a look at the Nunes memo that was mocked and ridiculed because, well, just because of the wonderful things he does. Let's see if I can get a little bit bigger version here. We'll go full screen. That's a little better. All right, so here is Devin Nunes' memo. From the HPSI majority members, which is the House Something Select Committee on Intelligence, from the majority staff of that, and the subject is Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act abuses at the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Purpose: this memorandum provides members an update on significant facts relating to the committee's ongoing investigation into the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation and their use of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act during the 2016 presidential election cycle. Our findings, which are detailed below: 1. Raise concerns with the legitimacy and legality of certain DOJ and FBI interactions with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. And 2. Represent a troubling breakdown of legal processes established to protect the American people from abuses related to the FISA process. Now, so far, so good. And he does a little summary here. Investigation update. On October 21st, 2016, DOJ and FBI sought and received a FISA probable cause, FISA, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA probable cause order not under Title VII, authorizing electronic surveillance on Carter Page from the FISC, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. Page is a U.S. citizen who served as a volunteer advisor to the Trump presidential campaign. Consistent with the requirements under FISA, the application had to be first certified by the director or deputy director of the FBI. Certified, meaning it has to be true. It then required the approval of the Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, DAG, or the Senate-confirmed Assistant Attorney General for the National Security Division. The FBI and DOJ obtained one initial FISA warrant targeting Carter Page and 3 FISA renewals from the FISC. As required by statute, he names the statute, a FISA order on an American citizen must be renewed by the FISC every 90 days, and each renewal requires a separate finding of probable cause. Very factual, Mr. Nunes. Then Director James Comey signed 3 FISA applications in question on behalf of the FBI. Now, by the way, Comey did an interview this weekend. If I have time, we're going to pop that one up on the old screen and listen to it. I hope we do. Whatever. Okay, so then Deputy James Comey signed 3 FISA applications in question on behalf of the FBI. That's a problem. And Deputy Director Andrew McCabe signed one. Then Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, then Acting Deputy Attorney General Dana Bonte, and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein each signed 1 or more FISA applications, on behalf of the DOJ. Now, real quick here. Now, I made a point the other day. By signing these applications, is everyone still here? Yes, we're still alive. Okay, good. Everything's working fine. By signing those applications, all of those people are basically stating under oath that everything in the applications are true. Now, I'm sure they could go with true to the best of their knowledge. But when you put something into a court like that, you are saying that is actually true, it would seem that if things in it are clearly not true, you're putting your name on the line, and also perhaps your legal liability on the line. Is everyone with me on that? I'm just curious. Did the chat die here? Do I need to refresh this? Hang on. I'm going to refresh here real quick just to make sure that this is working. Okay. The stream's still going, right? Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. So there's a whole bunch. Okay. Good morning, Functional. How you doing? What happened to the sound? What do you mean what happened to the sound? Did my sound go away? Can you guys hear me okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All right. So anyway. The FBI and DOJ, due to the sensitive nature of foreign intelligence activity, FISA submissions, including renewals before the FISC, are classified. As such, the public's confidence. Thank you, MC. Looks like you're there still. All right. Let's see. FISA submissions, including renewals before the FISC, are classified. As such, the public's confidence in the integrity of the FISA process depends on the court's ability to hold the government to the highest standard, particularly as it relates to surveillance of an American citizen, which is enforced by 90-day renewals of surveillance orders, is necessary dependent on the government's production to the court of all material and relevant facts. This should include information potentially favorable to the target of the FISA. I don't sound clear as normal? Really? Okay, hang on. We'll try and fix this a little bit. And good morning, Gulf City Culta Krill. I see you're here too. And I said functional and straight with mail. All right. Wonder if I have the wrong. Do I have the wrong mic set up? No, I'm good. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Don't sound clear as normal. Is he in a different room or using a different mic? No, I'm not. I'm in. Here, let me fix my mic here. Here, just 1 sec. I'm gonna do a quick test here, just while I'm gonna go back in here and see if I can hear myself. Hang on. Oh, that is weird. Okay, now I see what's happening. The bass of my voice is bouncing back into the mic. Okay. That's because it's probably on the wrong mic here. Just a second. Let me try something real quick. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to just completely refresh the stream. Okay. Just a second, and let's see if I can fix this. Oh, wait a minute. Give me 1 second. It's coming from the webcam. That's right. No, I know you can hear me, but I like to sound good. And so I'm trying to figure out here. Let's see. Settings. Let's see here. Just a second. We'll try and fix this real quick. Oh, okay. What the hell happened there? Let's go here. Okay. And let's just do this. And let's test that. That's done it. All right, we should be back, and I don't need to do this. Let's go back to main. All right, hopefully that's better. Support the channel. Whoa, over echo. Way better, but echo. Is it still bad? Holy shit. Oh, I know why. I know why it's doing that. Hang on. That echoes just because I have that on. I'm going to turn this off. Disable 2. All right. We should be good. Test the... There we go. I figured it out. Okay. Let's get back to the memo because now I've spent time goofing around with that. And just took a second for me to get my brain working. All right, so back to this. Due to the sensitive nature of foreign intelligence activity, the FISA submissions, including renewals before the FISA court, are classified. As such, the public's confidence in the integrity of the FISA process depends on the court's ability to hold the government to the highest standard, particularly as it relates to surveillance of an American citizen. However, the FISA court's rigor in protecting the rights of Americans, which is reinforced by 90-day renewals of surveillance orders, is necessary, dependent on the government's production to the court and of all material and relevant facts. This should include information potentially favorable to the target of the FISA application that is known by the government. Now, remember, in the IG report, one of the criticisms of the FBI's procedures was there was plenty of information that was exculpatory towards Carter Page that was not included in the application. So that line is very prophetic in some ways by Representative Nunes. In the case of Carter Page, the government had at least 4 independent opportunities before the FISA court to accurately provide an accounting of the relevant facts. However, our findings, the House majority, indicate that, as described below, material and relevant information was omitted. Number 1, the dossier compiled by Christopher Steele, the Steele dossier, on behalf of the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign, formed an essential part of the Carter Page FISA application. Now, he was ridiculed for that because Comey said it wasn't and Schiff said it wasn't, but it absolutely, as we now know from the Inspector General's report, played a central role. Steele was a longtime FBI source who was paid over $160,000 by the DNC and Clinton campaign via the law firm Perkins Coie and research firm Fusion GPS to obtain derogatory information on Donald Trump's ties to Russia. Isn't that getting dirt from a foreign source? Neither the initial application on October 2016 nor in any of the renewals disclose or reference the role of the DNC, Clinton campaign, or any party/campaign in funding Steele's efforts, even though the political origins of the Steele dossier were then known to senior DOJ and FBI officials. Now, this part they lied about. They said that they did disclose those facts, but they did not, and that's very clear from the IG report.
And also, the initial FISA application notes Steele was working for a named U.S. person, but does not name Fusion GPS and Principal Glenn Simpson, who is paid by a U.S. law firm, Perkins Coie, representing the DNC, even though it was known by the DOJ at the time that the political actors were involved with the Steele dossier. The application does not mention Steele was ultimately working on behalf of and paid by the DNC and Clinton campaign, or that the FBI had separately authorized payment to Steele for the same information. These are the facts, and he is 100% correct when you compare this to the Inspector General's report. Number 2, the Carter Page FISA application also cited extensively a September 23, 2016 Yahoo News article by Michael Isikoff, which focuses on Page's July 2016 trip to Moscow. The article does not corroborate the Steele dossier because it is derived from information leaked by Steele himself to Yahoo News. Remember we said that? He leaked it and then puts out the dossier and then says, hey, well, look, this article at Yahoo News says the same thing. Bullshit. Oh, bullshit. The Page FISA application incorrectly assesses that Steele did not directly provide information to Yahoo News. And that is false. Steele has admitted in British court filings that he met with Yahoo News and several other outlets in September 2016 at the direction of Fusion GPS. Now that particular bit is not in the Inspector General report, but it is a fact. those are in the interviews. Perkins Coie was aware of Steele's initial media contacts because they hosted at least one meeting in Washington, D.C. in 2016 with Steele and Fusion GPS, where this matter was discussed. So far, so good, Representative Nunes. You're batting 100 right now. Or 1,000. I said you're batting 1,000, not 100. 100 would be 10%. You're batting 1,000. Let's stick with baseball terminology here. All right. Also, by the way, don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you're not already doing that already. It's at PDogKnight. You see it over there on the left side of your screen there. Steele was suspended and then terminated as an FBI source for what the FBI defines as the most serious of violations, an unauthorized disclosure to the media of his relationship with the FBI in an October 30, 2016 Mother Jones article by David Korn. Steele should have been terminated for his previous undisclosed contact with Yahoo and other outlets in September before the Page application was submitted to the FISA court in October. But Steele improperly concealed from and lied to the FBI about those contacts. And it's weird. He still hasn't been. Why haven't they? Well, I suppose he's a British citizen. If they should charge him with lying to the FBI, just like they did with Papadopoulos and General Flynn. I mean, shouldn't they be charging Christopher Steele for being a liar? I think that might be coming. Steele's numerous encounters with media violated the cardinal rule of source handling, maintaining confidentiality, and demonstrated that Steele had become less than a reliable source for the FBI. Before and after Steele was terminated as a source, he maintained contact with the Department of Justice via then Associate Deputy Attorney General Bruce Orr, even though he's no longer a reliable source. A senior DOJ official who worked closely with Deputy Attorney General Yates, Sally Yates. Oh, she's still involved in this too. And later, Rosenstein. But that's because Bruce Orr was funneling information from Steele to these people. Shortly after the election, the FBI began interviewing Orr, documenting his communications with Steele. For example, in September 2016, Steele admitted to Orr his feelings against then-candidate Trump when Steele said he was, quote, was desperate that Donald Trump not get elected and was passionate about him not being president. This clear evidence of Steele's bias was recorded by or at the time and subsequently in official FBI files, but not reflected in any of the Page FISA applications. Oh, that might be something the court would want to consider, right? That's one of those omissions. And so far we're still 100%. We're batting 1,000 so far in this Nunes memo. I'm beginning to think, hey, hashtag Nunes was right. But hey, let's just finish this to be sure. I'm pretty sure. Good morning, Blind Press. I see you there. Good morning, Wandering Lisa. And I think I already said hi to RVA. Yeah, you were here earlier, RVA. Good. Given Christopher Steele is British and not an American, is he under any obligation to tell the FBI the truth? Well, let's see. Well, he under our laws, sure. He can't break our laws. He can still be charged. I mean, think about it. They charged 6 Russian generals with tampering with the U.S. elections, which is crock of shit. But anyway, they did. So yeah, I suppose if he's going to talk to our FBI, he better be telling the truth, just like anybody else. Giving false information, sure, that could be a crime here. All right. During this same time period, Orr's wife was employed by Fusion GPS to assist in the cultivation of opposition research on Trump. Orr later provided the FBI with all of his wife's opposition research, paid for by the DNC and Clinton campaign via Fusion GPS. The Orr's relationship with Steele and Fusion GPS was inexplicably concealed from the FISA court. That is certainly that's certainly probably some important information that the court should know when making a decision about approving a warrant to spy on a U.S. citizen. Warrant to surveil a U.S. citizen. I know some people get very, very touchy about that word spy. According to the head of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division, Assistant Director Bill Priestap, corroboration of the Steele dossier was in its infancy at the time of the initial Page FISA application. After Steele was terminated, a source validation report conducted by an independent unit within FBI assessed Steele's reporting as only minimally corroborated. Yet in early January 2017, Director Comey briefed President-elect Trump on a summary of the Steele dossier, even though it was, according to his June 2017 testimony, salacious and unverified. Whoa. It was salacious and unverified? How do you use a salacious and unverified report as part of an application for a FISA warrant? Salacious and unverified. So apparently Comey knew it was salacious and unverified. Oh, but when you sign over the applications for that FISA warrant, isn't that supposed to be true? Isn't there a difference between unverified and true? It seems like it to me. Anyway, while the FISA application relied on Steele's past record of credible reporting on other unrelated matters, it ignored or concealed his anti-Trump financial and ideological motivations. Furthermore, Deputy Director McCabe testified before the committee in December 2017 that no surveillance warrant would have been sought from the FISA court without the Steele dossier information. Now, that has been disputed over and over. Oh, they didn't use the Steele dossier. That wasn't even a big part of the FISA request. Well, the Inspector General sure seems to think so in his latest report. Still batting 1,000, Mr. Nunes. And finally, The Page FISA application also mentions information regarding fellow Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos, but there's no evidence of any cooperation or conspiracy between Page and Papadopoulos. The Papadopoulos information triggered the opening of an FBI counterintelligence investigation in late July 2016 by FBI agent Peter Strzok. Wait, the Nunes memo even says that. That's remember they say that, oh, it was predicated. The entire investigation was predicated by he says proper, even though it's the thinnest of thinness, but he did say that, right? Functional, because if he knowingly not lying to the FBI and court about politicians, the system, then he is technically a foreign power trying to subvert a U.S. political system. Yeah, certainly is. Back to FBI Peter Strzok was reassigned by the special counsel's office to FBI Human Resources for improper text messages to his mistress, FBI attorney Lisa Page, no known relation to Carter Page, where they both demonstrated a clear bias against Trump and in favor of Clinton, whom Strzok had also investigated. The Strzok Lisa Page texts also reflect extensive discussions about the investigation, orchestrating leaks to the media, and include a meeting with Deputy Director McCabe to discuss an insurance policy against President Trump's election. So, that is the famous Nunes memo that now clearly has been proven 100% true. Now, what's funny about that is let's go back. I want to just look up Nunes memo. And I just want to look at some articles regarding the Nunes. Here's a great one. Let's go to factcheck.org and see what factcheck.org says about the Nunes memo. This should be just juicy. Lawmakers have made several claims about a controversial memo from House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes. The memo, written by Republican committee staff and released February 2nd, raises concerns about the court order for electronic surveillance that the Department of Justice and FBI received in 2016 from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. I'm dying. This is hilarious. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. How you doing? The FBI said in a statement that it had grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy. Oh, really? Really? Let's go through what we know and don't know about the memo, FBI actions, and the relevance to the Russia investigation. It's about a court order issued to the DOJ and FBI on October 21st, 2016, and subsequently renewed 3 times under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to conduct electronic surveillance on Carter Page, who was a foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign for about 6 months in 2016. Page, who owns a consulting firm called Global Energy Capital, is an American businessman who has worked in Russia. Oh, yeah, he was a CIA asset. They kind of left that out, too. They knew it, though. Page left the campaign in late September 2016 after news reports that intelligence, my words are not working today. Intelligence officials were looking into possible communication between Page and senior Russia officials that summer. The memo says it raises concerns with the legitimacy and legality of DOJ and FBI actions in obtaining the FISA court approval due to the use of a controversial dossier as an essential part, quote unquote, they put that in quotes, of the FISA application. All right, so they go into what is the origin of the dossier. Did Democrats pay for the dossier? This will be interesting to see how Fact Check treats this. This is funny. This is back, and again, this article is from February 7th. So 4 days or 5 days after the memo came out, factcheck.org decides to fact check Devin Nunes on some shit they have no idea. Let's see. Okay, so there's what's the origin of the dossier? Did the Democrats pay for the dossier? This will be interesting twisting, I bet. The dossier was compiled by Christopher Steele, a former British intelligence officer who was hired by Fusion GPS, a research firm founded by former Wall Street Journal reporters Glenn Simpson and Peter Fritsch in 2000. Now, good God, they're just trying to stretch out their article here. In 2016, a law firm representing Hillary Clinton's campaign for president and the Democratic National Committee hired Fusion GPS, which subsequently hired Steele. Previously, the conservative, they have to tell you the conservative. I bet they never tell you the liberal papers, but they always tell you the conservative ones. Isn't that always interesting? The conservative dun, 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 Washington Free Beacon hired Fusion GPS to investigate Trump and other Republican primary candidates. It says that none of the work product that the Free Beacon received appears in the Steele dossier. So, yes, the Washington Free Beacon did use Fusion GPS, but they didn't hire Christopher Steele at the time. It has nothing. So, what they're doing here is they're muddying the water. Oh, this is the Washington Free Beacon started this. So the conservatives were looking at Trump before Hillary Clinton was. The dossier is a series of memos on supposed contacts between Russian officials and members of the Trump campaign, and it alleges the Kremlin was compromising. The Kremlin has compromising information on Trump. BuzzFeed, which should have just having the word BuzzFeed involved should make all of this null and void. But anyway, BuzzFeed published a dossier on January 2017, noting that it was unverified. Well, if it's unverified, why was the FBI using it to get a FISA warrant? Anyway, then FBI Director James Comey briefed outgoing President Barack Obama and then President-elect Donald Trump on the dossier in early January 2017. Some information in the dossier has been corroborated. According to a CNN story in February 2017 that said unnamed U.S. investigators had confirmed some conversations between foreign nationals had taken place. Interesting. Also, Carter Page acknowledged in congressional testimony that he met with an associate of the CEO of a Russian state-owned oil company. The dossier had said Page met in secret with the CEO. See below for more on what the dossier said about Page. Yeah, he met with. He was he was a CIA asset. He had businesses that that met with Russians. Oh my god. The GOP memo says that Steele was a longtime FBI source and that the FBI had also paid Steele for information he had compiled for Fusion GPS. The FBI terminated Steele as a source after he disclosed his relationship with the FBI to the media in late October 2016, the memo says. Fusion GPS's Simpson contradicted that in his congressional testimony. He said Steele wasn't paid by the FBI, but was possibly reimbursed for a trip to Rome to meet with FBI officials. He said Steele stopped communicating with the FBI after a New York Times story in late October 2016 said the FBI had investigated Trump campaign contacts with Russians and found no evidence of collusion. Starting at page 227. Now they have an update here. They've got quite a few updates. Let's read the update. This update is July 25th. Remember, this was written in February 7th, 2018. On July 25th, they added this update. The Justice Department released a heavily redacted copy of the FISA applications on July 21st. But the issue of whether the FBI compensated Steele for his work on the dossier is still unclear. It's not unclear. They compensated him. The original application, a renewal application, referred to Steele as source number one and say that source number one has been compensated, redacted, by the FBI. That doesn't settle whether the FBI paid Steele or reimbursed him for travel for his work on the dossier, because the application also say that Steele had a history with the FBI. Okay. The January 2007 renewal application says that in or about October 2016, the FBI suspended its relationship with source number one due to source number one's unauthorized disclosure of information to the press. It says this incident occurred after source number one provided reporting that is described herein. The application went on to say that source number one had discussed information with the press against the prior admonishment from the FBI to speak only with the FBI on this matter. It said, with names masked, that Steele was frustrated by then FBI Director James Comey's disclosure to Congress that new information had been revealed related to the FBI investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of private email server as Secretary of State. The investigation of Hillary Clinton's mishandling of classified information. I am correcting the record. Oh, bye, Maddie. Thanks for being here. Hope you get some, okay. Hope you have a good day. Did the FISA application disclose that the dossier had been compiled with funding from Democrats? We can't definitively answer this question without seeing the FISA application. A classified document that hasn't been made public. However, Republicans and Democrats now agree that there was some language in the application about political backing to the dossier. Yes, they were correct. Oh my gosh. Check your logic. Good morning. Message redacted by the FBI. The Republican memo claimed that the original application renewals do not disclose or reference the role of the DNC, Clinton campaign, or any party campaign in funding Steele's efforts. But Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee later acknowledged that a footnote in the application said something about political connections. The memo doesn't disclose that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just going to go on. Democratic Representative Adam Schiff, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee, said on ABC's This Week that the court was told that there was a political actor behind the dossier. Right. But it did not specifically say that it was paid for by the Democratic National Committee and the candidate Trump's opponent in the 2016 election. It did not make it clear. It was extremely vague. Republican Representative Trey Gowdy said on CBS Face the Nation on February 4th, they could have easily said it was the DNC and Hillary Clinton. That would have been really easy. I read the footnote. I know exactly what the footnote says. It took longer to explain it the way they did than if they just come right out and said Hillary Clinton for America and DNC paid for it. Gowdy was the only House committee lawmaker permitted to read the FISA application, according to both Gowdy and Nunes. Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell, another committee member, said on Fox News Sunday on February 4th that, quote, they did disclose that it was a politically motivated source and that they masked the names of most of the individuals. Apparently, Eric Swalwell is also full of shit. Update, July 25th. The Justice Department released a redacted version of the FISA applications on July 21st. The original application of renewals only identified Steele as source number one. They said source number one, who now owns a foreign business financial intelligence firm, was approached by an identified U.S. person who indicated that to source number one that a U.S.-based law firm had hired the identified U.S. person to conduct research regarding candidate one's ties to Russia. The identified U.S. person and source number one have long-standing business relationship. The identified U.S. person hired source number one to conduct the research. The identified U.S. person never advised source number one as to the motivation behind the research into the candidate's number one's ties to Russia. The FBI speculates that the identified U.S. person was likely looking for information that could be used to discredit candidate's number one campaign. I don't see the words Hillary Clinton or Democratic National Committee in any of those sentences. Do you? If he were gay, he has a perfect last name, Swalwell. Well, we always say swallows well. But anyway, the application didn't say that the funding... Shoot. What the hell's going on here? Now my phone's talking to me. Oh my God. How'd that happen? Okay. The application didn't say that the funding to the law firm had come from Democrats. Oh, well, there they go. At least their update they got, right? They did say the identified U.S. person, which would be Fusion GPS's Simpson, was likely looking for information that could be used to discredit candidate's one campaign. Then candidate Trump isn't named in any of the applications either, but the first renewal filed on January 2017 described candidate one as the president-elect. Even in the first application, which was filed in October 2016, the FISA court judges would have known that Trump was candidate number one if they followed political news. The application stated that Carter Page is a former foreign policy advisor to candidate for U.S. president, candidate number one. The application went on to say, notwithstanding sources number one's reason for conducting the research into candidate one's ties to Russia based on source number one's previous reporting history with the FBI, whereby source number one provided reliable information to the FBI believes source number one's reporting herein to be credible. And so in the FISA application, they lied because they had already said they've already gotten rid of Steele for being unreliable, for leaking to the press, and there were for them to say the reporting herein to be credible means did they go through that report by Steele, because there were some glaring errors in it. So they're either lying or they're extremely incompetent or both. And that was part of the interview with Comey. We're not going to get to the Comey interview today. We'll probably do that one tomorrow, and we're going to actually just watch the whole thing. It was actually Chris Wallace. Remember I was talking about, people were complaining about Chris Wallace, and I said, you know what? Chris Wallace is fair. Now, granted, he may not be a fan of the president. I don't care. He doesn't have to be a fan of the president. He's a reporter. And his interview with James Comey was great. I think he asked him tough questions, and Comey squirmed. And yeah, Comey is about as slimy as Bill Clinton was when being interviewed about things. It was kind of wild. And he came in there with an agenda to clear his name, and now he just looks like a shithead because he admits he made major mistakes, and he may, he's a little bit liable for what he put into the FISA court. And apparently Chris Wallace also interviewed Adam Schiff. I didn't see that one. Hey Richo, how you doing? All right. So was the dossier the main evidence submitted by the FBI to the FISA court? Well, we now know, according to the Inspector General, it was. But let's see what Fact Check has to say, because clearly, oh shoot. Yeah, clearly they're going to do whatever Adam Schiff says, because factcheck.org has their own little leanings issue. So anyway, was the dossier the main evidence submitted by the FBI to the FISA court? This is the main point of contention, And another question we can't answer without seeing the full application. Okay, they say they can't see the full application. So why am I even reading this? Why did they write this many paragraphs about it? Well, because the GOP memo contends that the dossier formed an essential part of the Carter Page FISA application. We now know from the Inspector General report that is true. And that McCabe had testified in December that no surveillance warrant would have been sought from the FISA court without the Steele dossier information. So Andrew McCabe was telling the truth there also, which, okay, good. He did tell the truth once. Good morning, Mike Savage. But that has been disputed, and there's no public transcript of the closed-door testimony. Oh, Democratic Representative Swalwell told CNN that the memo's characterization of McCabe's testimony was wrong, and our memo, if released, would shine further light on that. Well, we already know that the Democrat memo was just bullshit. Anyway, he said of a memo written by the Democratic staff on the Intelligence Committee. The White House received the Democratic memo on February 5th and has 5 days to decide whether it can be declassified, which they basically did. There was a few minor redactions, but anyway. The redactions because the Democrats were... Anyway, there's classified information. Democratic Representative Schiff said on ABC this week, any terms of Andy McCabe, like the memorandum itself, they cherry-pick selectively in what he said. Well, now we know it was correct. Now, while I can't go into the specifics of his testimony, I can tell what he said was that you have to look at a FISA application as a cohesive whole. All parts are important. Schiff also said the entire dossier, which contains some salacious and unsubstantiated allegations about Trump, wasn't included in the FISA application. Let me read that again. Schiff also said the entire dossier, which contains some salacious and unsubstantiated allegations about Trump, wasn't included in the FISA application. I wonder who he said that to. Oh, he said that to George Stephanopoulos. There's so many Georges. George Papadopoulos and Stephanopoulos and Snuffleupagus, and you know what I'm saying. And the suggestion that the chairman makes there and others on the committee have all made also that the entire dossier was included in this is just plain false. Oh, is Schiff saying, well, only a partial part of the dossier was included in the FISA warrant? Well, not true. Not true. As we mentioned, the FBI said it had grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy. The GOP memo says the FISA application also included information on George Papadopoulos, a Trump foreign policy advisor that had prompted an FBI investigation in July 2016. In October, Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. And the FISA application referred to a September 2016 news article that said intelligence officials were looking into Carter Page's July 2016 trip to Moscow and whether he had met with senior Russian officials. The article by reporter Michael Isikoff was based on multiple sources who have been briefed on the issue. Isikoff told CNN that he did not speak with Steele, who previously acknowledged speaking with reporters, including one from Yahoo News. Or that he did, yeah. So again, Steele fed the story to Yahoo News. Gowdy said on Face of the Nation that the application also included other information the FBI and DOJ had on Carter Page. We don't know what other information may have been in the FISA application. And then on July 25th, the redacted FISA applications released by the Justice Department clearly mentioned some of the information the FBI got from Steele, but we still don't know whether the dossier was the main part of the FISA applications because they were heavily redacted. So let's get to the conclusion of this because this is really long. I guess they didn't really come up with a conclusion. But anyway, you can see what they're doing here. The fact check basically decided that they're going to hem and haw because they don't know. They have no way of knowing. But now we know. Now we know for a fact that Nunes was right. Nunes was right. Okay. All right. Good. Oh, good morning. By the way, thank you, Pincalo. And I already said thank you to Maddie, who had to take off, and Tyler F. and RVA for putting the tweet out on the Twitters. All right, you know what? We've gotten. That's pretty much all I'm doing today as far as news. Nunes was right. I want that. I don't know why that hashtag hasn't trended either, because he was right. The Nunes memo was clearly correct, and the Schiff memo was clearly nothing but a pile of Schiff. So anyway, let's do this. Let's do Twitter trends real quick, and I got to go because I'm a little late. Well, not late, but that took a long time. Oh, interesting. Joe lands in a new city with a new identity in the new season 2 trailer for You. Does anyone know what this is? Okay, so we're in Twitter trends. We do our daily Twitter trends, and that's where we are. And always on the top of my Explore page, there's one particular article that I don't know if it's necessarily trending, but I have no idea what this show is. Watch Joe Goldberg, Penn Badgley, find love and death in the new full-length trailer for You. The second season premieres on Netflix on December 26th. Fascinating that that's news. They must paid for that spot, because I've never. Has anyone? Okay, raise your hand with a 1 if you've ever heard of the Netflix show You, and put a number 2 if you do a trailer. If you know what You, if you don't know what You is on Netflix, put a 2 in the chat. 1 if you know what You is, and 2 if you don't. I've never heard of it, but it certainly seems to be important to Twitter today. I have no idea. Richo, you doing a Christmas Eve show, which will be my Christmas? Yes, I am doing a Christmas Eve show. It'll be it'll already be Christmas in Richo's part of the world, which happens to be Australia. Oh, he's an Aussie, don't you know? I don't do an Aussie accent. That was about as close as I get. Yeah, that's what I thought. Never heard of it. Holy criminy. Anyway. Oh, you know what? Oh, God. I really wanted to talk about the cadets. Oh my God. So the Army-Navy game, did you see this about the Army-Navy game? And those guys were playing the circle game. We called it, here's the thing. I'm going to do I'm going to actually do a video on this. So back in the day, this thing, when you do the circle game and you put a circle, we called it hole, not circle game. We called it hole back in the day, back in the 80s, because basically what you're doing is you're making an asshole with your fingers, and we call it hole. And if someone saw the hole, then you could punch them in the arm or some shit like that. And in the Army-Navy game, there were a bunch. Now for some reason it's always been a military thing. Like people who go through military academies or police academies, shit like that. You put the hole somewhere. They say below the waist, but it's not even below the waist. It's not even below the waist. You make a hole. Hang on a second. Let me put full screen here. Put me on the screen. So anytime you make this little circle, that's the hole. And so if someone looks at the hole, then you're supposed to be able to hit them. And so so on TV, there was some of these guys, the Army guys. It was the Army-Navy game, and they knew they were on camera, so they were making the hole symbol in front of some other people, right? And it blew up on Twitter as these Academy cadets were making white supremacy hand gestures. And it's all over Twitter. In fact, I did bookmark one of these. So Is it on here? Oh, this is the guy Lawrence Scott put out a thread here. I have the privilege of working with some of the best and brightest young men in our nation who are destined for great futures. I know firsthand that they live in a vacuum. No, that ain't it. What they are doing is not, first of all, well, never mind. Let me finish this. In other words, if it's not happening immediately around them, they're not aware of it. I am also well aware of the fact that they do not have the same opportunities as other college and university students to just let their hair down, so to speak. It's the little things that offer a little fun and excitement to their lives. I've had my fair share of encounters with people who thought my skin color made me less than them. I will be the first to say that racism and supremacy ideology should have no place in our military or in our nation. However, to immediately assign meaning to a gesture made by a young cadet midshipman without consideration of their disposition is irresponsible. It's quite frankly unfair to immediately assume such disgusting things about an individual. It's a game these students play, white and black alike. I see it almost every day. They even got me with it before, as I mentioned. It's the little things that offer a little joy and excitement. Don't assume the worst of our best. If it was what some are accusing it to be, it's unacceptable, period. I just find it troubling and even problematic to assume the worst. Let's consider this for a second. If you didn't know about the game, why is it so hard to believe they didn't know about a white supremacy symbol? Or how is it so hard to believe that they weren't flashing a white supremacy symbol? That's the part that pisses me off. Everyone, this stupid issue has been around long enough that people know that that's also the circle game or whole. Okay, China is as whole. It's whole. Why is it so hard to believe they didn't know about a white supremacy symbol? And even if they did, they weren't flashing one. And I'll get into that in a second. We're all learning. I believe in us. And then whatever. So here's the thing. So the ADL decided that this troll, that the 4chan guy is saying that this stands for white power, the WP. So if that were the case, the OK symbol, and this is the OK, I'll get on the camera. If this is the OK symbol, is this the OK symbol? No. This is the OK symbol with your hand forward, even if it was a symbol for white power. This is not. This is some guys playing the circle game, aka asshole. Okay? It's so stupid. Okay? Also, all you people who see this as a white supremacy symbol, the dog whistle, it's funny how you can hear the dog whistle. It's amazing that you all can hear this dog whistle that everyone's talking about. I can't hear the dog whistle. I immediately thought, I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's circle game. That's a total military academy, everywhere you go, that's that game. And they do it all the time. And it's not a white supremacy symbol. Okay? How do they not know? Because it's not right, Zombie Teddy. Good morning, by the way. How do they know? How did they not know the OK is a white supremacy symbol? Because it's not a white supremacy symbol. Okay? It just is what it is. You know what? I did last week, I went to the Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves played the Utah Jazz in an NBA contest at the Target Center in Minneapolis. And I went to that game and there was something a little bit disturbing. Okay. Because there was this white guy on the Utah Jazz and every time there was a bunch of Jazz fans. There was a little section of Jazz fans over on the other side of the stadium. And every time this white guy on the Utah Jazz would make a 3-point shot, all these people were flashing these white supremacy symbols. And it was just so disturbing. I just don't know what they were doing. Why were they flashing the white supremacy symbol every time this guy made 3-point shots? I mean, were they saying that this white guy on the Utah Jazz was a white supremacist? It was really pissing me off because they kept throwing up the white supremacy symbol every time he made a 3-point basket. It was really, really disturbing. Okay, so some of the reactions to this guy who just made this is a black man. This is Lawrence Scott. Lawrence Scott, author, speaker, director of player development, Army West Point football. So he's a director of player development at West Point, the Army, military academy, U.S. military academy. These motherfuckers replying to this, I cannot believe this. If they live in a vacuum for 4 years, then that's a problem right there. No, he made a mistake with this live in the vacuum statement because now everyone's picking up that. Dude, it's a well-known fact that we have actual white supremacists in our military, so they aren't that sheltered that they don't know what's happening. Oh my God. I know a number of Academy cadets. This is a self-serving lie. Don't defend that behavior. It was done by multiple cadets. Yeah, they had their hands in a little hole. The hole is what you're looking at. This is not a white supremacy symbol. This is, hey, look at the hole. Oh my God, these people. They will be leading men and women into deathly dangerous situations, but they don't know about current events. That argument is questionable at best. When faux POTUS exonerates war criminals and deports honorable military, well, we damn well better make sure we are not training more potential war criminals. Considering who the commander-in-chief is of the military, I think they knew what they were doing. Yes, clearly their objective was to throw up a white power symbol while they're being filmed on national TV. Yeah, you know how hard it is to get into the United States Military Academy. But sure, these dummies were out there saying, white power, yeah, white power. Please. Just the idea that these people believe this, that these guys would do this on national TV in front of their parents and the whole world. No, they were playing that silly little military game that everyone knows if you're in the military. The little hole game. Oh, I'm sorry, circle game. China is asshole. Okay, now this guy, I played the same game in high school and had no idea it was associated with white nationalism. No one in our school did. Now, this is probably someone older. It wasn't until the troll by 4chan. And then the ADL decided that people were actually using it. Fuck off. If wearing a uniform doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt, you're correct, it shouldn't. Then their race shouldn't condemn them either. Maybe let the academies handle this and trust they will come up with the correct verdict. Hey, someone has a lick of sense here. Unbelievable. This guy, are you high? This is what comes of having a vile racist in the White House. Those who harbor such attitudes feel empowered to be brazen about them. We can't legislate people's thoughts, but we can address behaviors, and the military academies better address the ones we all saw. Stop defending the indefensible. These guys are at a damn football game, goofing around, playing the circle game. Hole. China is asshole. I've never seen a more unambiguous display of the white power gesture. Instead of enabling it, you should condemn it. It is. I mean, this goes on and on and on and on and on, and most of the comments on this thread are people saying, "These disgusting. We saw what we saw. Stop gaslighting us. Those cretins do exactly what they were doing. They need to be expelled and forced to pay back all costs of their education so far." Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Now, Sheagrath, what did you send me here? Even a split finger fastball. Well, that's not even a split finger. Is that a split finger? No, that's a. I don't know what that is, but that's. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's called the white power pitch. The white power pitch. All right. Thank you, Sheagrath. I clicked that without. I'm glad it wasn't anything more nefarious, because I could have just clicked something that's really dirty. Oh my God, it's just driving me insane. We'll see if any of that's still trending. Anyway, let's get into quick trends and we're gonna get out of here. Right now, number one trending is Monday motivation, because we need some motivation on Monday. Let's click it. We'll get one motivation. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all Monday shit, right? So we're gonna just do Monday motivation. We're gonna skip the other 3 and find one good motivation for Monday. What? Go back, I thought, no good at all. Go sideways, impossible. Go forward, the only thing to do. Push forward, don't look back. 2020 is right around the corner, and I am going forward. Who is with me? Who is with Dana Brooke, WWE wrestling superstar, about going forward? Will you go forward with Dana Brooke? I think maybe you should go forward with Dana Brooke. You feel me? Do you feel her? Do you want to feel her? Okay, we're going to move on. That's a good, you know what? That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough. Oh, wait a minute. Tim Black has a public service announcement to Cory Booker. I have to see this. I have to see, because Tim Black's a total progressive dude. By the way, good morning, Sheagrath. Good morning, Great Thunder to Mighty. Good morning, Evil One, and Zombie Teddy. Tim Black has a Monday motivation for Cory Booker, a PSA, a public service announcement for Cory Booker. I'm going to click on it without any reservations whatsoever, and we'll see if it's going to backfire on me. Here we go. Clicking Instagram. Oh, well, let's listen to it. I'm gonna see how long is this? Well, we'll find out. This is Tim Black to Cory Booker.
I understand. I do. You're good people. You want to support a fellow brother, or you don't want to be called racist, or you just don't want to be the bad guy. So you don't want to say it. But you know what? I don't play by those rules. So I'll say it for you. Cory Booker, get somewhere and sit down. It's over. You are not going to become president. It's a wrap, baby. And all this complaining is making you look weaker and weaker and weaker. As if that was even possible. Somehow you made it possible. It's over. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. I'm Tim Black. Wolfpack.
All right, Tim Black for some motivation for Cory Booker. All right, let's move on. We're gonna skip all these other Mondays. For some reason, Whoopi Goldberg is trending with Meghan McCain. Did they have a little spat this morning? Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking. Whoopi to Meghan McCain. Okay, so apparently Whoopi Goldberg told Meghan McCain to shut the fuck up. That was some wild AMTV right there. Meghan said, "I won't talk the rest of the show." Whoopi said, "I'd be okay with that." Uh-oh. Well, we're going to hear some about, I'm pretty sure you're going to see some clips from The View this week. Well, we'll see that later. Okay, moving on. Top Gun is trending because the new trailer for Top Gun Maverick has just dropped. Interesting. New trailer for Top Gun Maverick dropped Monday, giving fans a better idea of what to expect from the sequel to the 1986 classic. Okay, because apparently he's still just a fighter pilot. He hasn't moved up in rank or status or whatever. Who knows? But all right, so go check that out. I'm not going to play it today. Let's see. Pepsi halftime sweeps. Uh-oh, what's happening here? This is trending. Tweet Pepsi with Pepsi halftime sweeps for a chance to watch J-Lo and Shakira in person. Don't worry, you can still DVR the commercials, see the rules. Okay, if you want to try to win trip to the Super Bowl just to see J-Lo and Shakira. Now, here's the question, though. I could care less about J-Lo and Shakira. I just want to see the game. But anyway, that's trending. So if you want to do that, United Republican Party is trending. United Republican Party. I'm a registered Republican. I'm supporting the Dems on this one. I've watched 95% of the hearings and read the articles. Sorry, not sorry. Wrong is wrong, even if he is the president. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be people trolling that hashtag. Senor Castro says the United Republican Party is Trump's poor attempt at Hitler's Third Reich. You know, the Hitler references just don't work anymore. I don't know why you even try. As if you mention Hitler, the what's that rule? What's the rule called when if you mention Hitler, you automatically lose? Okay. Senator McAllister. Who is Senator McAllister? Nebraska State Senator. There are Republicans all over the country who want you impeached. We don't fall for some cult of personality. We've read the Constitution. If you are one of these Republicans, tell me why, and I'll retreat good replies. Republicans for impeachment. Oh, my God. Okay, so apparently... that's because Trump tweeted it. If Trump tweets it, it will trend. So... read the transcripts. The impeachment hoax is the greatest con job in the history of American politics. The fake news media and their partner, the Democratic Party, are working overtime to make life for the United Republican Party and all it stands for as difficult as possible. And of course, John Fusselgang, anti-Trumper number one, says the United Republican Party is so united because every conservative with decency, intelligence, integrity have left the party. A conservative party with a lunatic, nationalist, racist fringe has become a lunatic, national, racist party with a conservative fringe. Okay, whatever. All right, so that's why Trump tweets it, it will trend. Paid leave is trending because they're talking about that a lot. Whack 100. What is Whack 100? Okay, Nipsey's bodyguard beat up Whack 100 tonight for running his mouth about Nipsey Hussle. Okay, in honor of Whack 100 getting smacked up, I present to you Victory Slap. Okay, don't know what that's about. Don't care. It has to do with Nipsey Hussle. Paid leave is trending because all I can think about is what if this was my son and they have the audacity to put him on paid leave. I'm so sick of this shit. That poor baby didn't deserve that, regardless of what he may or may not have done. Okay, is this an officer? It's Sean King tweeting something. Let's be clear, this officer must be fired by the end of the day today. He should then be arrested immediately for felony assault of a child. This not only violates policy, it violates the law. Yeah, if that's what it is, then absolutely the guy should be. That's assault. Okay, that's not right. That's fucked up. So I'm gonna give Sean King a W on that one, even though I can't stand Sean King. Magenta Elephant. I saw Magenta. Oh no, it's K-pop. Fuck it. Lutz. What's Lutz? Okay, don't know why it's trending, but I need Michael Thomas, and Lutz has to negative 22 points. Is this something that what? Is this what is this? Fantasy football? What is this? Oh yeah, fantasy playoffs. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. It's fantasy football. Whatever. Fred Glass, sports trending. The top candidate right now, in my eyes, to replace Fred Glass is Pat Kraft, currently at Temple. That's for the Indiana football coach got fired? Who knows? I don't care. Moving on. Is there anything good? 6ix9ine, nope, don't care. Hip hop rap trending. Battle of the Bulge is trending. What? It's hashtag Battle of the Bulge. Oh, this evening we honored World War II veterans with a visit to the Bosgon Barracks. We also have the privilege to stand shoulder to shoulder with the 101st Airborne Division Shoulders at the Bois Jacques Foxholes, where we honored the 101st Airborne veterans of the Battle of the Bulge. So this is the anniversary. Today marks the 75th anniversary of the battle in which our heroes fought the brutal cold and stood their ground against the face of tyranny. Today marks the 75th anniversary. So 75th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge. By the way, if you happen to ever take a trip to New Orleans, the World War II Museum in New Orleans is completely and totally magnificent. It's amazing, amazing exhibit. You need to give yourself a full day there at minimum. We went there half a day after going out on a swamp tour, and then went there the entire next day. We were so fascinated by the World War II Museum. It's amazing, amazing piece of history. And I couldn't recommend it enough. It is a fantastic museum. Snow day trending. Who cares? And finally, I'm excited for the hashtag I'm excited for. We'll get a couple of these. I'm excited for Robin around the tree. Never That Robin says, I'm excited for a happier future. 2020 better not screw up. KK, Chris Gringle Garrett, I'm excited for my dog turning 15 on January 1st. Wow, that's an old dog. Dogs usually don't last that long. Some small dogs do, but yeah, that's old for a dog. I'm excited for little things in life, rains, morning tea, a good read, watching birds and squirrels, conversing with closest friends. Life in these beautiful little things is these beautiful little things sewn together. So that's a good way to end the show. That's it for today. If you got something that you're excited for, I mean, people are starting to think about 2020. I'm excited for continuing this show and doing it for doing it for at least a couple hundred more shows. We're at 220 today. Looking forward to 250. Looking forward to having more people like y'all come and hang out with me. I appreciate you guys so much. And so that's going to be it today for the Morning Night Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and we're it's Monday through Friday, but occasionally we do streams on the weekend. So if you want to get all the notifications, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you click the bell. Follow me on Twitter, which is right down here at PDogKnight. I'm probably going to close my Gab account. I never use it, and Andrew Torb is just saying a lot of weird shit now, and I just don't want to be associated with them. So that account might be going away. Although I will stay on mines, and I'm on Instagram at YesThatMarty, but I don't use that much. But anyway, but if you haven't done so already, please, on the way out, please click that like button and share the stream. Hit that share and go on. Hello, Ranavashio. I'm glad you were here. And please support the channel, support PDog. You can throw some a couple tips in the tip jar once in a while. I appreciate that too, although it's not completely necessary. But you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or you can send donations via Venmo at PDogKnight, just like my every other handle I use except for Instagram. But that's it for today. I appreciate you all so much. It's time for me to go. My name is PDogKnight, and I'm out of here. You have a great day. Hey, this is PDogKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDogKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDogKnight, and I'm out of here.
and value